Good afternoon, and welcome to the City Business Healthcare Heroes and Leadership in Law Awards program. I'm Lisa Blossman, City Business Publisher. We have an exciting program to share, and we appreciate you taking time to join us. We want to hear your voice and see your engagement on social media during the program. Join us as you post your photos and congratulate your favorite honorees using the hashtag CBEvents. And for the honorees, don't be shy. Show off your award. You've earned it. Due to the pandemic, it is unclear when we will all be able to come together again to network and celebrate. But one thing is clear. Now, more than ever, there is a need to recognize and thank these incredible individuals for their contributions to our communities. Thank you for taking time to support the honorees and for embracing a new type of event that allows us to come together in a safe way. Our program is possible thanks to thoughtful commitments of our sponsors. Thank you to our premium sponsor, Ochsner Health. Joining us is President and CEO Warner Thomas.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
Who that? I miss it. Who that, baby?
It's a great honor to recognize and to remember all of the 2020 New Orleans City Business Healthcare Heroes. In my mind, there's no profession and no city more deserving of hero status. This year has been more than unusual for all of us. It's been unthinkable. But in healthcare and in Louisiana, we've proven again and again that we rise to the challenge and that adversity cannot keep us down. Even as COVID-19 impacted our city faster and harder than many other places in the country, our promise and commitment to our patients, staff, and community did not waver. From the Ochsner teams who have cared selflessly and compassionately for the sickest of the sick, to our city's first responders, nurses, physicians, healthcare professionals, and volunteers being recognized today, you are an inspiration. You are heroes. You have felt called to do more. I believe it's true for all of us. The people we care for are not just patients. They are our friends, our neighbors, and our family members. People in healthcare choose their careers because they care about others and because they feel compelled to give. This designation from New Orleans City Business recognizes 50 healthcare professionals for their commitment to our community and their dedication to excellence. It's my honor to be part of such an important event.
Thank you again, Warner, and thank you, Ochsner Health. I'd like to thank our other premium sponsors, LCMC Health. We will hear an important message from them midway through Healthcare Heroes. Kelly Hart Petrie. We will learn more about this law firm and hear from partner in charge, Lulin Petrie Jr., as we kick off the awards for leadership in law. New Orleans Chamber. Their president and CEO, Ben Johnson, will have some illuminating words midway through leadership in law. We would also like to acknowledge our gold sponsor, Coates Rose, and our award sponsor, Mercedes-Benz of New Orleans. Thanks again to all our valued partners. We also have a celebrity message at the end of today's program. City Business Healthcare Heroes and Leadership in Law honorees were selected based on their outstanding professional achievements and the impact they have made through community service. Here are the Healthcare Heroes honorees. And remember to post congratulatory remarks to social media using hashtag CBEvents.
After Hurricane Katrina, the city of Westwego only had one ambulance of its own. Since then, Joseph Aldor joined the team as EMS director. After coming on board, Joseph has helped to increase the number of units to 3 fully equipped, advanced-level ambulances.
A community collaborator, Paige Hargrove, is the executive director of the Louisiana Emergency Response Network, coordinating care for patients with traumatic or time-sensitive illness. Under her leadership, her team has worked to develop statewide care systems for stroke and STEMI, which is the deadliest form of heart attack.
Give credit, take blame, or it doesn't cost anything to be nice. Those are a few of Gerald Prine's favorite sayings. Jerry passed away in March, leaving behind a legacy at Acadian Ambulance in New Orleans, where he spent 2 decades as a paramedic. There he taught his team that when a patient is on your stretcher, they are the only thing that matters.
Years ago, Kevin Aikman was working as a flight nurse when the helicopter hit a power line and fell out of the sky. Kevin was hurt, but was able to pull both the pilot and patient out of the crash to safety. It was after that experience that he started his journey to becoming a certified registered nurse anesthetist. Today, he is the lead nurse anesthetist at Sterling Surgical Hospital.
Gina Herrera is a professor of nursing at Delgado Charity School of Nursing, where students get to see a different side of her while learning hands-on in the hospital. They say that's where she is in her element. Gina has spent over half of her 30-year career teaching, working hard to mold her students into the type of nurse that they would want taking care of their families.
As the first wave of COVID patients hit the New Orleans area, Chris Icamina and his team at Toro Infirmary were well prepared to save lives. Chris is the Director of Emergency Services, supervising the ED and overseeing employees in the ICU and intermediate cardio unit. He also works with local EMS and is on the medical staff for the New Orleans Saints.
It was after helping a 9-year-old diabetic who loved to bake find sugar-free dessert recipes that she knew she wanted to help others. Deborah Johnson is a diabetes care and education specialist at New Orleans East Hospital. In 2017, Deborah helped to open the hospital's first diabetes management center.
Rakitha Larvadane has dedicated her entire nursing career to helping the littlest patients in the NICU at Children's Hospital, treating each baby like her own. Recently, Rakitha has transitioned into case management and aspires to one day become Chief Nursing Officer.
For assault victims at University Medical Center, lead forensic nurse Heidi Martin is often their first stop in their journey to healing. Heidi works with a wide range of patients, from victims of human trafficking to domestic violence. Doing her part to keep the community safe, she works daily on ways to expand the hospital's forensics program.
Because failure is not an option for charge nurse Michelle Scales, she works hard to welcome newcomers into her department at Tulane Medical Center, giving them all the tools they need to succeed. Even with the added challenges of the coronavirus pandemic, Michelle and her team push through, continuing to be their patients' best advocates.
Kaylin Sewell is an ICU charge nurse at the Southeast Louisiana Veterans Healthcare System. In her role, Kaylin's biggest responsibility is to be the voice of the unit. Kaylin feels being a nurse is more than just medicine, but compassion too.
At LSU Health New Orleans School of Nursing, Dr. Todd Tardival is the program director for the traditional BSN program and associate professor for clinical nursing. After too many awkward conversations about how to deliver care to the LGBTQ community, he launched an advocacy training program, and in just 3 years, he has educated thousands.
For the past 17 years, Lucy Walker has been the director of the cath lab and cardiac rehab at Slidell Memorial Hospital. With a passion for patient care, Lucy participated in the Harvard Community Health Consortium, helping to implement a nationally recognized project to streamline the cath lab pre-op process.
Dr. Dr. George Bissett is Chief Medical Officer at Children's Hospital in New Orleans. With more than 30 years' experience as a pediatric radiologist and educator, his greatest honor was serving as the president of the Radiological Society of North America in 2012. At Children's, Dr. Bissett oversaw the construction of its cutting-edge 51-bed behavioral health center.
Dr. Ann Kahn is a triple board certified neurologist at Advanced Pain Institute. More importantly, she is a proud advocate for mental illness. Dr. Kahn lost both of her sons to suicide after they were diagnosed with psychotic bipolar disorder. Over the years, Dr. Kahn has shared her family's story with many and has testified in the Louisiana legislature on behalf of a suicide prevention funding bill.
Three-time honoree Dr. Frank Kalickia is chairman of the Department of Neurosurgery at LSU Health School of Medicine. Now a Hall of Famer, Dr. Kalickia helped establish the Louisiana Brain Tumor Initiative. Recruiting the first neuro-oncologist to LSU Neurosurgery, he's working on bringing a pediatric neuro-oncologist on board too.
We've come a long way over the 30 years of my career. I'm really pleased to see where we are now. And we're really starting to make some headway with LCMC in that regard, and it's a very exciting time.
Decades ago, Dr. John Chip Davis graduated from LSU Dentistry, but his interest in oral surgery led him down a new path. Now an orthopedic spine surgeon, he has spent more than 25 years leading nationally renowned surgical programs. In 2016, Dr. Davis joined Paradigm Health, treating patients in his hometown of Slidell.
A doctor who gives women hope. Dr. Frank Delacroche is a founding partner of the Center for Restorative Breast Surgery, where he empowers and educates women affected by breast cancer on the most cutting-edge methods of breast reconstruction.
Pro athletes, movie stars, celebrity chefs, Dr. Eric George, founder and CEO of the Hand Center of Louisiana, treats people from all walks of life because everyone needs their hands. An entrepreneur and a philanthropist, Dr. George has invested in several healthcare startups, some working on groundbreaking medical technologies.
Her dedication to helping began when she was 13 years old as a hospital volunteer. Dr. Christy Graves practices internal medicine at Slidell Memorial Hospital. Her 45-year career has been impactful, treating generations of people in her community. In the 80s, Dr. Graves was the first physician to bring hospice care to Slidell.
Losing his younger brother to congenital heart disease during his childhood was what sparked his curiosity in medicine. Dr. John Heaton is the president of Clinical and Systems Operations and Chief Medical Officer at LCMC Health. Dr. Heaton has been leading the COVID-19 response as incident commander, describing it as the most challenging time in his career.
As a boy, he loved watching medical shows on TV. That's when he knew he wanted to be a doctor. Dr. Marco Hidalgo is the medical director at Lakeview Regional Medical Center's trauma program, handling everything from car crash cases to sports injuries.
Dr. Jeremy James is an orthopedic spine surgeon at Disc of Louisiana. In a field where many patients may be afraid of the outcomes of spinal surgeries of the past, Dr. James thrives on advancements in technologies, achieving better results and helping patients find relief.
On a mission for healthcare for all children, Dr. Denise Goodfellow-Carute is a pediatrician at Children's Hospital. Dr. Carute has launched a foster care clinic for Children's Hospital at River Ridge and has pushed for telehealth services for families who struggle to get to the doctor's office.
Dr. Mark Matrana says in medicine, there is no faster moving field than oncology. Dr. Matrana is the senior medical oncologist at the Gail and Tom Benson Cancer Center at Ochsner Medical Center. Specializing in genetics, he also serves as the director of the Ochsner Precision Cancer Therapies program.
Chief of Ophthalmology at Southeast Louisiana Veterans Healthcare System, Dr. Rebecca Metzinger is proud of the work she does with the VA. A 3-time honoree being inducted into the Hall of Fame, Dr. Metzinger is also an associate professor at Tulane Health System and is the founder of a biotech company which has just passed clinical trials for a fast-acting antibacterial contact solution.
It's very humbling, very humbling. It's one thing where, I do what I do not to get recognition. I do what I do to take care of people.
His plan was to be a pro baseball player until he hit a home run in med school. Dr. Benjamin Peeler is the chief of pediatric and adult congenital cardiac surgery at Ochsner Hospital for Children in New Orleans. Since Dr. Peeler started at Ochsner, he has helped to reduce the mortality rate for high-risk neonatal heart surgery.
Dr. Robert Peltier has been part of the North Oaks Health System team and the community since 1998. He now serves as Chief Medical Officer. Well known to students in the area, Dr. Peltier is an associate professor at Southeastern Louisiana University. He's also a longtime volunteer who helps with free physical exams for junior high and high school athletes.
From newborns to adults, Dr. Timothy Petit has been treating patients with heart conditions for more than 2 decades. A pediatric cardiothoracic surgeon at Children's Hospital and an associate professor at LSU Health Sciences Center, Dr. Petit finds time to help with HeartGift, bringing in children from around the globe for life-saving surgeries.
Internationally recognized, Dr. Felix Buddy Savoy is the chair of orthopedic surgery at Tulane University School of Medicine. A Louisiana native, Dr. Savoy took his training globally, completing 4 fellowships. Patients come from all over, seeking out his expertise in shoulder and elbow surgery and sports medicine.
One of the North Shore's first full-time oncologists, Dr. Agustin Suarez, recently retired from North Shore Oncology Associates after treating patients for almost 40 years. A Cuban refugee who came to America at age 15, he started his education at a camp in Miami.
When it comes to blending the business world and the medical field, Dr. Jeremy Wigginton has it down to a science. Dr. Wigginton, who is board certified in family medicine, fills the role of medical director for population health analytics and network innovation for Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Louisiana.
For cardiologist Frank Wilclow, Toro Infirmary has become his home for the past 25 years. There he trained as a med student, an intern, resident, and cardiology fellow. On call 24/7, Dr. Wilclow has made it his life's mission to help his patients understand their disease.
At LCMC Health, your loved one will always see a true expert in their field. Like Cody, who you'll find is an extraordinary nurse because he's also an extraordinary dad. LCMC Health, expertly human.
He's a local musician who has turned his talent and compassion into a way to help patients struggling with mental health issues. Stephen Alfonso is the director of recreational activities at River Oaks Hospital, where he and his team help patients with things like art, play, music, and dance therapy.
Celebrating 40 years in emergency medical service, Alan Ashley is now the Director of Business Development for Acadian Ambulance Service. Through the decades, Alan has worked on the ground and in the air, and has even owned his own ambulance service. His expertise has been instrumental in developing protocol to help treat patients at home.
Blending finance and wellness, Rhonda Bagby has spent more than 25 years in the healthcare industry and is currently the Market Vice President for Humana. An expert in finance, Rhonda feels economic development is tied to quality of life, and she's honored to work hard to better her community.
Joan Kaufman is the president and CEO of St. Tammany Health System. Joan started her 38-year career as a radiologic technician at STHS. Through the years, she transitioned into healthcare management, which took her north to Wisconsin and Illinois. Coming back home to Louisiana, her career has now come full circle.
Working to make communities stronger through the work he does, Greg Fern is CEO of LCMC Health. Greg was one of the driving forces that created the 5-hospital, $1.7 billion nonprofit enterprise.
David Gaines shifted gears in his career, going from the COO of a venture capital investment firm to helping lead one of the largest nonprofit health systems in Louisiana. David is now celebrating 10 years as the CEO of System Retail Services and the Senior VP of Public Affairs at Ochsner Health.
A bad car crash when he was just 18 years old left Kevin Gardere hooked on pain medicine and alcohol. After a 3-year addiction, he became sober at Bridge House, Grace House, a long-term residential substance abuse treatment facility. There, Kevin is now Executive Director of Development.
Guiding thousands of students entering the medical field, Dr. Larry Ollier is the Chancellor of LSU Health Sciences Center at New Orleans and Dean of its School of Medicine. His work spans the globe, advancing healthcare through his involvement with the American Board of Surgery in general surgery and in general vascular surgery.
An educator and a motivator, Molly Kimball is a dietitian with Ochsner Health and creator of Eat Fit NOLA, helping people make healthier choices. Through her cookbook, weekly TV appearances, and her podcast, Molly shares her expert tips on health and wellness with the community.
Help instead of handcuffs. An advocate for New Orleans' homeless population, Travers Kerr is the coordinator for the Law Enforcement Assistant Diversion Program. Instead of putting them behind bars, Travers and his team work to connect with homeless people, helping to guide them into a direction that will get their lives back on track.
Kathy Patel is the Associate Director of Client Services and Patient Navigator at Catholic Charities, Archdiocese of New Orleans. Dedicated to improving the lives of others, Kathy is well-versed in patient relations and strives to reduce barriers to healthcare access.
Amy Quirk is the CEO of Innovation Ochsner. There, they come up with new ways to treat patients using tools like technology and AI. When the COVID-19 crisis hit, Amy and her team were able to quickly produce PPE gear for frontline workers.
Sarah Reardon is the owner of NOLA Pelvic Health. Through that private physical therapy practice and her strong social media community, Sarah is revolutionizing the way experts care for women's health. With the right amount of professionalism and humor, Sarah has created a safe space for women to discuss some of the most embarrassing struggles with their most intimate body parts.
Lasagna Washington is a licensed social worker and program coordinator for the Opioid Survival Connection, where she is working to expand the program to provide outreach into the community. Lasagna has found educating families about the addiction could be the quickest and least expensive way to help end the opioid crisis.
Liz Marcel Williams is the CEO of Center for Resilience, the state's only therapeutic day treatment and partial hospital program. Located on the campus of Children's Hospital, Liz and her team work to ensure the emotional well-being and academic readiness of kids with emotional health and trauma-related needs.
James Como has given Slidell Memorial Hospital 14 years, more than 6,000 hours of volunteer time. James, a World War II Navy veteran, is the lead volunteer and a staple at the hospital's information desk, welcoming and helping everyone. This year, James celebrates his 94th birthday.
In 2013, doctors at Tulane Medical Center diagnosed Ricky James with testicular cancer. Feeling blessed for the early detection, Ricky felt he needed to give back, so he became a hospital volunteer, becoming the first to ever be placed with patients in a critical care unit. 7 years in remission, he now volunteers at the hospital's information desk.
Congratulations to the City Business Healthcare Heroes. Here are the Leadership in Law honorees, and please post congratulatory remarks to social media using hashtag CBEvents. As we begin to honor our Leadership in Law honorees, let's hear from Kelly Hart Petrie.
Hello, I'm Lulin Petrie with Kelly Hart Petrie in New Orleans. We're part of a broad-based business law firm with over 150 lawyers. Today, we honor leaders in law, those that provide a value of work that transcends the courtroom and our community. Leaders who promote innovation and creativity, and who we need as we discuss the economic future of Louisiana and New Orleans. As we reopen the economy, both startups and established companies have the chance to reshape themselves and thrive if they can spot opportunities and manage risk. There are two significant opportunities now for major economic progress: digital transformation and a resurgence in manufacturing. We've been told for years to be ready for digital transformation. This means the rising influence of artificial intelligence, big data, cloud computing, and the Internet of Things. Now, the pandemic has forced us to deal with a sudden mini digital transformation, its main component being a rapid adoption of remote working. Will the pandemic lead to a desire for national self-sufficiency and local manufacturing? We may see efforts to enact policies like tax incentives and tariffs to encourage domestic manufacturing, especially of essential strategic items. And cutting-edge technologies such as 3D printing may lead the way to a resurgence in manufacturing. This change presents opportunities. We have the chance to be visionary leaders. Join me, and let's lead the way, Louisiana.
The Assistant District Attorney for the 34th Judicial District Court and former criminal defense attorney Josephine Heller has always valued being the voice for her clients. In her more than 30-year career, Josephine ran her own firm, performed pro bono work, and teaches trial advocacy at Loyola College of Law, a mentor to the next generation.
An icon at Tulane Law School, Robert Force is the only endowed chair in maritime law in the country. Impacting thousands of students, he has taught at Tulane for 50 years and has no plans to retire. Instead, he'll continue building his career, which has created the university's Maritime Law Center, 2 landmark texts, a scholarship, and influence on major court rulings.
Emmy Gaida began her career as a TV news reporter and anchor, but then fell in love with law. As a law school professor at Tulane University, her passion is now making law exciting and inspiring for young students. Using her real-world experiences, Amy teaches torts, privacy law, and media law.
From paintbrushes to the bar exam, Suzanne Scalise is a former art teacher for the Jefferson School System who studied law at night. She first served as a law clerk, then a central staff attorney in Louisiana Supreme Court. Now Suzanne is the director of bar preparation and learning initiatives at Loyola University College of Law, helping students succeed.
Mark Adams is a partner at Jones Walker, where he began his practice nearly 4 decades ago. In 1992, he founded Jones Walker Labor and Employment Practice Group. Mark is also a founding member of the Employers Counsel Network, a group of labor and employment law practitioners representing all 50 states and Canada.
Lee Adler, a partner at Phelps Dunbar, is celebrating 30 years with the firm. A 3-time honoree being inducted into the Hall of Fame, Lee credits senior partner Philip Clavery with mentoring him into the successful attorney he is today.
He has taught me so much about the practice of law, what it means to, just down to, I guess, running clients through a risk assessment, I guess, best way to sometimes come up with answers that there are risks that they can take, and sometimes come up with answers that maybe they don't want to take those risks. But at least walk through those assessments.
A year ago, Jason Bayer opened his own personal injury firm, Bayer Law LLC. One of his specialties is a unique area of personal injury law called inadequate security, in which he's recovered more than $6 million for his clients. Jason credits the passion he brings to his practice and competitiveness as the keys to his success.
In just 8 years, Seth Bagwell has covered plenty of ground. He began at Carver Darden after receiving a college clerkship, started working at the firm after graduation, and was promoted to partner 2 years ago. Seth practices in the highly specialized field of property law and gas and oil litigation.
Just a year out of law school, Morris Bart left his first job to open his own practice, becoming one of the first attorneys in the state to advertise on TV. 40 years later, Morris Bart LLC is the second largest injury firm in America. Generous to his new community, Morris recently donated $1 million to Second Harvest Food Bank of Greater New Orleans.
Ashley Ballou is a partner at Luganbull, Wheaton, Peck, Rankin, and Hubbard, and a commercial litigator in all business matters. Not only has she taken on a leadership role at the firm, Ashley serves as national president of the Federal Bar Association, allowing her to guide and have a voice in the operations of the legal system.
As a young maritime attorney, Alan Brackett took on cases no one else wanted. A 3-time honoree being inducted into the Hall of Fame, Alan is a founding member of Muldoe, Bland, LeGrand, and Brackett, where he and his team handle state and federal workers' compensation defense and other practice areas. Under his leadership, the firm has tripled in size.
One of the great things about practicing law is that it gives you the ability and flexibility to give your time to things and organizations that mean a lot to you. And I've been really privileged to be able to do that.
In the office and in life, Allison Brooke is dedicated to our environment. Allison is a member of Canner & Whiteley LLC, focusing on environmental law, natural resource damage litigation, complex litigation, and class actions. She's also the president of Teaching Responsible Earth Education, motivating others to protect our Earth.
It was the work hard philosophy that Peter Butler Jr.'s dad instilled in him that helped him earn the respect of his peers and build trust with his clients over the past 30 years. A partner at Breezel, Sash & Wilson, Peter practices in complex commercial litigation and transactions, as well as arbitration.
After earning degrees from the University of Pennsylvania and Harvard Law School, Christine Calagero followed her heart back home to New Orleans. Christine credits her success to the mentorships she received from judges she clerked for early in her career. Christine is excited to give back by helping to guide other young lawyers. McGlinchey attorney Catherine Conklin enjoys watching both sides claim a win. Specializing in employee benefits law, Catherine is a graduate of Tulane Law School who found herself taking on everything from estate planning to health benefits law early in her career. That diversity has benefited her in the work she has done for religious employers, helping them hire workers from other countries.
Her career as an attorney spanned more than 30 years, and now Donna Phillips-Carrault is ready to take on a new role, Magistrate Judge for the Eastern District of Louisiana. Donna's experience included the years she spent as a member of Gordon Arata Montgomery Barnett, where she specialized in commercial litigation.
It was while working and living at a home for at-risk teens in New Orleans that Chris Damore decided he wanted to go to law school, energized to work for the community. At Loyola Law School, Chris created its pro bono program. Then, because of their dedication to community outreach, Chris joined Adams & Reese LLP, where today he is a partner.
In a city that was rebuilding after Hurricane Katrina, Brandon Davis was building his career in law. Brandon is a partner at Phelps Dunbar LLP, where he practices labor and employment, business and employment, and family-based immigration. A three-time honoree being inducted into the Hall of Fame, Davis helped his firm build a full immigration team.
One good thing about Phelps Dunbar, among many, is you're surrounded by people who are really great to be in practice with, but you also have the opportunity to be in friendship with your law partners. And so that I would name Kim Boyle and Nan Alessandra as the best of both worlds, professionally and personally.
Brandon isn't the only Davis being honored today. Tiffany Dellery Davis is a shareholder at Liskow & Lewis. A litigator in maritime, energy, and environmental law, Tiffany is in the process of adding alternative dispute resolution to her list of practice areas. She also serves as the firm's Chief Diversity Officer. Aaliyah Diaz-Yeager is the president-elect of the National Hispanic Bar Association, where she's a voice for lawyers and the Hispanic community. Aaliyah is a stakeholder at Luganbull, Wheaton, Peck, Rankin, and Hubbard, handling industrial employment and commercial litigation, insurance defense and coverage, and environmental law issues.
Right out of college, Todd Everidge started his career making copies for a small law firm. Working his way up to legal assistant, he started learning more about the practice, inspiring him to go to law school. Now, Todd's a partner at Keen Miller LLP in the Offshore Energy and Maritime Litigation Group and serves as the firm's co-chair of recruiting.
A product of Armenian and Irish grandparents, Kathleen Gasparian is the founding partner of Gasparian Spivey Immigration, where she has had the honor of helping entrepreneurs from abroad start businesses in the U.S. and working with international families to keep them together. Kathleen also teaches immigration business at Loyola University.
Tim Gray joined Foreman Watkins & Krutz LLP right out of law school and is now its longest tenured equity partner, handling cases related to asbestos, toxic tort litigation, risk management, and more. A strong supporter of education in New Orleans, he's the board chair of a charter school for children who have been expelled from other schools.
For nearly 3 decades, Edward Harold has been focusing on workplace law. Edward is the regional managing partner of Fisher Phillips, where he's the chairman of the firm's retail industry practice group, focusing on employment litigation in state and federal courts in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. A 3-time honoree, Edward credits his colleague Keith Pyburn with mentoring him into the Hall of Famer he is today.
You know, as a lawyer, we're a problem solver. That's all we are. We give us a problem, we'll fix it for you. And he brought a very thoughtful and very outside of the box approach to problems, and it really helped me learn how to help my clients the best.
A descendant of a distinguished family of lawyers, Maury Herman joined his family's law firm after graduation. He then went on to become senior partner of Herman & Katz before serving as managing partner in 2018. A 3-time honoree, being inducted into the Hall of Fame, Maury has taken on some impressive cases, including helping the late Tom Benson on the purchase of the New Orleans Saints.
I hope that I've been responsible and fair and approached the work that we've done on behalf of clients with empathy and professionalism.
For more than 35 years, A.J. Krause has worn many different hats: litigator, arbitrator, and mediator. Motivated by daily challenges, AJ is a partner and founding member at Freelo LLC. A 3-time honoree, being inducted into the Hall of Fame, he offers this advice to young attorneys.
The advice is basically your reputation. You know, you want to, go through life doing things, by the book. You don't want to cut corners, and you never want to misrepresent anything to the court or to a client.
When she joined Chafe McCall more than 3 decades ago, Julie Leviday handled personal injury cases. Shifting her focus to employment law, Julie is now managing partner at the firm, as well as its practice area coordinator on the labor and employment team. A New Orleans native, she says her dad, the late U.S. Judge Marcel Leviday Jr., is one of her greatest influencers.
Despite a rare illness that caused significant vision loss, Paul Macinter perseveres in the courtroom. Paul has been at Stone Pigman Walter Whitman LLC for 30 years. He's head of its litigation section and chairs their business development committee. His diagnosis inspires him to give back, working with a nonprofit that empowers people with disabilities.
With no intention of ever practicing law, Christopher Massenberg started law school to give himself a few more years to decide what he really wanted to do. After his second semester, he knew the courtroom was the place for him. Today, Christopher is a partner at Manning, Gross & Massenberg. For the past 20 years, he's been trying cases all across the nation.
Before becoming an attorney, Michael McMahon was an accountant. He quickly learned he'd rather fight to save a client's money than reconcile their checking accounts. Michael is a partner at Daigle Fies in Kessenich, where he practices maritime and energy litigation. Spending his childhood boating with his dad, that focus was a perfect fit.
A fierce litigator with an impressive list of wins, Inemesit O'Boyle is a partner at Chahardy Sherman Williams, where she represents multi-million-dollar companies, public organizations, and people in all types of complex litigation. Inem is an advocate for civil rights issues and helped create a mentoring program called Girls First. Kelly Ransom is a partner at Kelly Hart Pitre New Orleans office, practicing coastal law and energy, oil and gas, and environmental litigation, a job which allows her to constantly learn more about science. Kelly has brought her interest of coastal issues to students in the community as board chair of New Harmony High School, focusing on coastal restoration.
Since she was a child, she's been passionate about helping our environment, cleaning up beaches, protecting animals, and saving trees in her neighborhood. Today, Lindsay Reeves practices environmental law at Jones, Swanson, Huddle, and Garrison LLC. She feels issues like Louisiana's disappearing coast and a large oil and gas presence need stronger public opinion and litigation laws.
Megan Reese is a director of the Affordable Housing and Community Development Practice Group at Coates Rose, where she represents clients in different types of financing and public-private partnership transactions. Her finance background gives Megan the upper hand as she advises her clients on the legal implications of their transactions and guides them through negotiations and closings.
Being raised by innovators and entrepreneurs, David Ravachel has always been fascinated by the business and legal sides of growing and starting a business. David is a member of Stone Pigman Walter Whitman. He's been an attorney for more than 20 years in corporate mergers and acquisitions and securities law.
Graham Ryan, partner at Jones Walker LLP, believes that work ethic wins cases. It's what sets attorneys apart. Graham represents a regional and national client base that spans banking, healthcare, construction, and energy industries. Making pro bono work a priority, he's a volunteer attorney to the homeless and veterans.
Elizabeth Sconzert has always loved writing, and as a partner at Blue Williams PPL, she particularly enjoys taking on cases involving research and writing. Elizabeth's practice is dominated by medical malpractice defense, insurance defense, construction litigation, and state workers' comp defense. Outside of the courtroom, Elizabeth owns a yoga studio. After graduating with a bachelor's in neuroscience and English, med school would have been Mira Sossman's next logical step. Instead, Mira chose law school, and today she's a partner at Irwin, Fritchie, Urquhart, and Moore, practicing primarily in the area of products liability with a focus on pharmaceutical and medical device defense and consumer products.
From the time he was a teenager, Robert Stefani knew he wanted to be a lawyer, looking at it as an honorable profession built on relationships, allowing him to work with people from all walks of life. Practicing for more than 30 years, Robert is a member of King & Juergens, where he focuses on marine and financial services and petrochemical and biopharmaceutical industries.
A partner at real estate firm Stieg Law, Charles Stern Jr. is head of its litigation section and has more than 30 years' experience handling criminal and business litigation. As an appellate counsel, Charles argued before the U.S. Supreme Court, as well as the U.S. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals and several Louisiana state appellate courts.
Before law school, Scott Sternberg was a newspaper reporter. Today, Scott is a managing partner at Sternberg Nakari White LLC, representing reporters all over the state, defending freedom of speech. Through his team's work, they've helped defeat bills that would have impacted the public's right to know and handled defamation claims that would have put newspapers out of business.
Complex, highly specialized areas is the niche that has formed the foundation for Wendell Stout's 35-year-long career. A partner at Deutsch Kerrigan, he has built his practice around insurance defense and general litigation in the areas of products liability, toxic torts, and maritime personal injury. Jason Wagaspak is a managing director at Galloway, Johnson, Tompkins, Burr & Smith, where he practices maritime and admiralty law. Throughout the years, Jason has helped his firm grow to more than 100 lawyers in 12 offices across 7 states. Jason also serves on the adjunct faculty of Tulane Law School and Tulane University School of Business.
Hello, my name is Ben Johnson. I'm the president and CEO of the New Orleans Chamber of Commerce. The New Orleans Chamber is a proud sponsor of CityBusiness's annual Healthcare Heroes and Leadership in Law Awards program. The New Orleans Chamber wants to recognize you and honor you for your dedicated professional services that you offer on a daily basis. You enhance the quality of life for all of us in our community. Thank you. The Chamber also wants to join with your family, your friends, your colleagues in celebrating you on this special day. The ceremony is yours. Please enjoy all of it. Congratulations.
Sharing the spotlight today with his wife Allison, here's Jonathan Brooke. Jonathan learned quickly that healthcare is a place he can make a difference in the lives of others. Jonathan is the Vice President of Strategy and Business Development at Children's Hospital. In 2018, he headed up negotiations leading to the partnership between the hospital and the Tulane School of Medicine's Pediatric Department.
In 2011, Nate Budd took a leap of faith, joining an unknown startup as its second full-time employee. With his experience in construction law, he was intrigued by the new tech firm and its focus on construction-related litigation. Today, Nate is the Chief Legal Officer for LevelSet, which now has 200 employees, offices in 2 states, and 1 abroad.
Joseph Series is an Assistant General Counsel with Entergy Services Real Estate Sector. When Hurricane Katrina hit, Joseph was evacuated to Baton Rouge. A few months after returning to New Orleans, he was contacted by an attorney at Entergy where he accepted a job, climbing the ranks to his current position. Joe Papalardo Jr. is the newest president of Ladder & Bloom Property Management, one of the largest and most successful third-party management companies in the Gulf South. Joe's dad and business partner started the company in the late 80s. 10 years ago, Joe joined the team as its in-house counsel, learning everything he could about the legal end of the business and beyond. As a senior majoring in art history, Christina Samuels thought a career in law would be a crazy idea. But some sound advice from one of her favorite professors launched her into the legal profession. Christina is Associate General Counsel for Tulane University, where she oversees all legal aspects of its research mission and healthcare obligations.
She always wanted to be a physician until a job at a lawyer's office changed her career path. Now, Brandy Shealy gets the best of both worlds as an attorney at LCMC Health's University Medical Center, New Orleans. Brandy is a legal resource for patients in the trauma center, burn unit, and sexual assault facility. It's Shelley Sullivan Tynan's job to minimize risk and drive business decisions for Ochsner Health System, so medical professionals don't have to worry about anything but their patients. Shelley oversees all legal matters for Ochsner and leads a team of approximately 27 lawyers, paralegals, and staff members.
Congratulations to each of our honorees. They have persevered through ups and downs with hard work, determination, and positivity to get where they are today. They are quite simply inspirational, and we're very proud to honor them. To complete our celebration this afternoon, we have a special guest dropping by who would like to share a congratulatory message to the honorees. I don't always introduce a celebrity, but when I do, it has to be the most interesting man in the world.
Congratulations to New Orleans City Business Healthcare Heroes and Leadership in Law Award honorees who are being recognized for their professional accomplishments and for giving back to the community through community service. I think that is a wonderful thing when you do that for other people. I congratulate you myself, amigos. Saludas. Adios.
Once again, I would like to thank our premium sponsors, Ochsner Health, LCMC Health, Kelly Hart Petrie, New Orleans Chamber, and thank you to gold sponsor Cote Rose and the award sponsor Mercedes-Benz of New Orleans. The City Business Healthcare Heroes and Leadership in Law Awards program is possible because of your incredible support. We look forward to the day when we can come together in person, but until that time, thank you for joining us for this virtual event. The Healthcare Heroes and Leadership in Law Awards publications will be inserted in City Business on October 9th and on NewOrleansCityBusiness.com. Nominations are now open for the 2021 Healthcare Heroes and Leadership in Law Awards. So while you're on our website, be sure to nominate deserving candidates. Our next virtual event is Women of the Year on November 16th at noon. You can register by clicking on the event tab on our website, NewOrleansCityBusiness.com. Congratulations to the Healthcare Heroes and Leadership in Law winners, and thank you all for joining us. Be safe and stay healthy.